Hello everyone, this is part number 14. It's time to head to Port Alcan and maybe finishing the vanilla game. Our gear is a little bit more optimized. Let's pop up ointment. I'm gonna rush objective. There is a boss, a guaranteed spawn. In one of the 3 camps. Also totem. This one is Forsaken, it's gonna be spicy. One of them's corrupted. I'm gonna reposition slightly. I don't want to Annihilation, Prismatic Diamond. Probably this is gonna be my way to go for the helm. This build lacks a health bar, so Prismatic Diamond is gonna be something that I have to reconsider. It's a pretty expensive craft. But it's totally worth it. It's gonna give me another circuit breaker and much better survival ability. Another hero. This rift is very important. If you miss your secret path quest, you have to walk a lot. In general, I advise you to get all the rifts. You never know when you're gonna need them. Either for totem farming or MI farming, that kind of stuff. This is not Diablo 2, for example, when you can pick up just a certain waypoints. In Green Dawn, most likely you need all of them. Our blast shield didn't proc very often, which is basically a good sign. That means for now my damage sustain is okay. If I proc blast shield constantly, that means something in my defense is totally wrong. I don't recommend to try Mud Queen on this build. This build comes with tons of AoE damage, which means that's gonna trigger her passive, and that passive spreads a lot of damage. So we got 2 points because we are in a ultimate and I skip Hidden Path in Elite. Our connection with the witch gods becomes stronger. I'm pretty sure I can kill the sentinel, but I'm gonna leave it for now. One skill point is not very important at the moment. It's more like I can kill it later when I min-max the build. For now I'm still leveling. Surviving in hardcore is plan your next step pretty well. There is a pointless to try hard content, especially when your gear is so-so. For example, my gear is okay, but it's not amazing. So for me it's better to stay out of the dungeons for the moment and out of most of the bosses. Apart from the first skill. I do totems just okay, so I can farm totems when I hit 90. I'm gonna be rich enough to use potions, experience potions. There is a guaranteed totem here. On 3 different spawning locations. I pre-craft armor for this for this devotion here. So I'm gonna get the free XP. Nice chunk of experience. I'm gonna check my Coven reputation, how it goes. Definitely I'm gonna need the quest line to hit revert, but that's okay, the Rogueman's pretty high level anyways. So totems over here, I almost miss it. I looking at the map. I think this is a normal beast totem, not forsaken or ancient, so it's gonna be okay. Just the mob spawn with pet modifications. Nothing useful. We're still hunting for the Plunder's Talisman, and our baby version of the medal start to drop now as well. Triple rare. Actually a good one, I think. Mage Storm of Death Chill. Amazing. Just this offhand is not very useful, but comes with a nice crowd control proc. If you want to play some sort of fun build, it's okay, but usually not very powerful. I'm gonna skip next to quest in Cayman's Chosen. Too much of a hassle. I'm gonna hit revert with them anyways. I'm just playing the game. There is a tons of catonics. And honestly, I don't need their components that badly. Let's take some loot. I'm gonna sell some stuff soon enough. Let's poke with Barnabas for the reputation. And let's go poke with Warden Creek. Inquisitor Creek, sorry. This quest over here gonna ruin my... This is another quest that's pretty dangerous. I'm gonna do it. I have cluster and stuff. Maybe it's not very wise, but we'll see how it goes. I can leave for later. But it's a very important quest if I want to hit revert with the Black Legion soon. Let's see, Hermit Mine, time to bump up resistance shred. Monsters start to get high resistances. And I want to shred as much as possible. This quest over here is gonna ruin my whole stat reputation. But I'm gonna pick this up faster. Let's recast the ointment. More spirit. Our friend Lucius. Not extremely dangerous. Just avoid the Trozan attack. And immediately go inside your seal. Nothing special. He's dangerous only if you're resistant to ether bet and you take his basically Thunder mechanic. But Trozan Sky Shard is a very slow. Also very predictable. It's not very hard to dodge it. His door is always blocked by this Hulk, Rage Hulks, so be careful, if they charge you all at once you can end up dead. This is a minefield, as I explained several times. Try to navigate. Otherwise mine's gonna add a lot of passive damage. Especially in a build that don't have such a high life regen and stuff. Stay away from the ether part. There is a locksmith. He's a very dangerous hardcore killer. If you don't need his daggers or anything else, basically just avoid him. It's a very challenging battle because he's a spellbreaker class, so he possesses nullification and he can strip all of your buffs. He's pretty fast as well, especially if he spawns with a good weapons. You're gonna end up, he's basically a shadow strike user. He's gonna immediately port next to you. That's why I don't recommend it. He's over here in this area. But I don't want to mess with him. I'm pretty sure I can kill him, but still. I don't like that much to gamble with my builds, especially when I don't need him. I kill him in several big builds, especially during the league, because he gives points, the league points for the general ladder. That's why you have to kill it at least once. League points are account wide, so you don't have to do challenges for every of your class. There is a tiebreakers at the end. And at the moment is a testing of the league, so league is gonna be starting soon.
See anything you like?
So if you never try Grim Down League, I highly recommend it. This is a good generic pants. Slightly low level. That's gonna... I can use actually... That's better physical resistance, better damage. Slightly less defensive ability, but better armor as well. I'm seriously consider to put some augment for pierce resistance.
Well spent.
and use these pants. That's impossible. I use all of my pierce resistance augments. Nine PRS. I'm gonna still keep this one. Maybe I'm gonna need it. And the component is a pretty common one, so
Put it to good use.
I have 4. That looks better.
Good work, Henry. Good work.
Yep. I need Black Legion reputation, so I'm gonna kill Anasteria. Gonna be a spicy battle. We have to be careful, she shotguns. Yep, that was close. This woman is considered on an Nemesis level. She got slightly less life pool, but she's extremely deadly. She almost make my life miserable. Let's deal with the cultist. And probably I can try deal with the Spellbreaker Moira request. And going straight to the emulation. Which is not the wisest idea on a hardcore. But the reputation is really good. When you're here, I recommend fully clear. These guys, they have a high chance to drop tonic seals of binding. Be careful with the Harbingers. They are one of the most deadliest mobs in the game. They put a nasty debuff on you. We're gonna need a lot of bindings because we are on the way to craft a crystal for us for the hem slot. There is a few cultists left. Gonna deal with them in a hope of a drop. Also, this is a side that I didn't clear still. This is the best way to farm seals. The density here is pretty good. Let's take Stormheart if you want to summon the bosses, the endgame bosses. Definitely clear if you want to try the totem. I think this one is a Forsaken. Yeah, this one is a Forsaken totem. Very bad spawn again. One of them is a Corrupted. We're gonna take tons of damage from the pools. Reposition immediately. At the moment you stop leeching life, you're in a very very bad spot. And you don't want to. This is the price when you play a high DPS build. Very few builds they have high damage and high sustain. This one is okay, but you have to reposition sometimes. Two Harbingers, not ideal. Another 2 points mines. Spirit for damage. Let's try emulation. There is a few ways to cross this. Just be sure you have a cluster equipped. Some builds like this don't have enough light pool to cross safely to the safe point. I'm gonna wait for my basically everything. My potion have to be on. My word of renewal as well, so I can start crossing. Okay, this is the safe spot. Same again. Just wait to have your word of renewal on. And you have to wait your potion as well. And you can start crossing again. And that's it. Without using a cluster. Other way is just using a cluster and go straight to the door. But I prefer to have cluster for here. If things get spicy. Because this area is extremely dangerous. Most of hardcore players they avoid coming here. Me include. But I need Black Legion reputation as soon as possible. Their augments pretty flexible when I have to swap gear. And their augments pretty good, not some sort of crap like most factions. So here is the boss, be sure you clear the odds. Boss gonna be a very high level, because this is a dangerous domain. He's gonna spawn Trojans. He's not very deadly. Especially I have Inquisitor Seal and his attack mostly AoE attacks. Sure you have your seal all the time. It's not on cooldown. There is a guaranteed dynamite here and a treasure room as well. So I like to check what I can get here. Nothing useful, but iron bits always welcome. Shard of Baronet, a very useful component for auto-attacking builds. Good chunk of reputation. Let's sell what we don't need. No attack speed, so these gloves no go. You look for attack speed at your glove slot all the time. I'm gonna keep the Fanatic overcoat. You never know. It's a nice armor option. This is for now. Let's continue with the quest. I stick to the west part because comes with some crystals. Passive farming is a very important to get what you can get along the way. This is gonna be the Chthonic area. I'm not gonna do the devotion shrine in this tomb. Pointless. It's quite dangerous as well. Full of undeads. Be careful with the big guys, they can wear something creepy like Tyrant of Alacrity. That was a pretty big hit. I'm gonna step away, they put way too much debuffs. Also I'm gonna separate the mobs from the shielder.
Took you long enough, but it appears that the
And it's time to finish the vanilla game. This is the first lagoon. Wagon. And the next one's supposed to be at the middle. So maybe here. Yeah, it's here. Immediately we can use the rift. It's better option than walking. And let's stop Lockhoron summoning. For a second time this playthrough. Superior of Abomination. Another not very pleasant mods. Close to 250 percentage physical damage. Here there is a guaranteed totem and guaranteed devotion shrine, which is desecrated. So here we have a potential to find something useful. Also Lockhoron is a endgame, is a act boss. So there's gonna be a treasure room with one short chest and few good ones as well. So here is the devotion shrine. Let's clear first. Let's precast. That's a level, nothing useful. Again, Termit's Mine. Until the diminishing returns. Our income's pretty solid. I'm gonna clear the yachts. I'm gonna place my seal here. Gonna precast few mines. Always place your seal in a distance when you open the totem, because seals need a second or two to apply. Torment, Amatok Step. Again, nothing useful. Spirit dump. This a guaranteed spawn, just different locations. This is a poison based, very squishy boss. As you can see, no problem at all. Blood Lord alone is gonna be tricky. Sometimes he's damage ramping. A pretty messy map this time. A lot of lockouts. I'm gonna clear the art so I can face Talonis. He's gonna place a resistance shred on me. I'm gonna save some distance. He's gonna summon Harbingers as well, which I don't like. Let's try to take him from a distance. He spawns fumbles. He's good to reposition. He's not so tanky. I just forgot to reposition out of the fumble mechanic, which is that purple pool beneath my feet. Lochhoran is a tank and spunk battle usually. You can avoid his thunder mechanic. It's very easy to avoid. It's very slow, visible. Without his thunder, his damage is pretty mediocre. You can even face tank. I'm gonna reposition, kill the heroes. I got hit by the... I didn't saw the last orb. Also, when he use Doom Bolt, he's very tanky as a boss, but not so deadly. I don't think I ever die here. I died once to Korvac long time ago, once to Warden Creek when I still figured out the game. But I think that's it from the Act bosses. It's funny, I found Doom Relic, but I can't find Plunderous Talisman. Doom Relic is a very endgame relic, level 90, for internal trauma soldiers. I'm gonna stick with Vendetta for probably a little bit more.
You've returned. So are great.
That's revert.
Good, I struggle to admit that. You see the Luminari.
Excuse me.
I'm gonna grab this quest, I'm gonna sell some stuff, and I'm gonna end up the episode here. We don't need this, definitely don't need this. Actually, Tempest of Frostbite is not bad at all. I'm gonna keep it. This is actually a good find. Lack some resistances, but definitely worth. Another enchanter's insignia that I use, which reminds me at some point I have to refarm my MIs. Let's check the components really quick. So definitely want this one, is a nice, and this is the best, Man's Kind Vigil. This gives Ether Chaos. And let's see if they sell something for... I think this is better than what I have. I have Flat Fire. This gonna give us life and elemental. I don't mind a little bit extra sustain. I'm gonna lose a little bit of damage, but I think at this point having a little bit more life and a little bit more life, mana regen, energy regen, sorry, is much better. But this is from this episode. Thank you everyone for watching. See you in the next one.